In this video, let's talk about the tender offer. What is a tender offer? Why is a tender offer done? What are you supposed to do as an investor if you are offered during the tender offer period? Should you sell? Should you accept the tender offer? Should you do nothing? Will a company be delisted when a tender offer is done? If you want to learn more about tender offers, then check this video out. Hey guys, so we're back for another edition of our Stock Smarts Basics, where we give you the basic rudiments of the market and we teach you certain and specific items on how you get to know the basics of the market. So for this video, I want to focus on the tender offer. I know I've done a lot of videos about this, but I've gotten a lot of questions about this, especially that we have an FGen tender offer coming out, or it's currently underway. So we're gonna discuss that, what a tender offer is, what's the pros and cons of a tender offer, why is a tender offer done, then should you actually take a tender offer, then the issue about delisting in connection to the tender offer. Then at the tail end of the video, let's discuss a bit of FGen. But I'm gonna do this so that it's not just specific for FGen, so that in the future, a year from now, 5 years from now, you guys can use this as some sort of a tender offer 101 video, that it will be applicable to any tender offer that will be done in the future. So let's take it one by one. Number one, what is a tender offer? So basically, a tender offer is an offer to existing shareholders, that if you are a shareholder, there's an entity, a company, a corporation, an institution that wants to buy a bulk number of shares. So why is a tender offer done? Again, there's an institution that wants to get a large chunk, a large portion, a large piece of the company. Either they want to take over, or they just want to have a larger investment. People would be asking, why not they don't just buy the shares in the open market? That's a possibility. They could also buy it from the open market. But imagine if there's a lot of retail shareholders, the number of transactions that they would have to make, or the number of transactions that they would have to do for them to be able to transact, for them to be able to buy and sell, for them to be able to get the number of shares that they would want. So the whole narrative of a tender offer is, in one go, in one price, they get to have the number of shares that they want. They get to be positioned based on the number of shares that they want. You have to remember, when I mentioned that these are large institutions, because it's really a large amount of money. It's really a large amount of shares that are being bought or being sold. So you have to look at it from that context, that if you are moving that amount of money, it will take a lot of time if they would want to buy the number of shares that they would want, or if they would buy everything in one go, then it would push up the price at a much faster level, and it may go beyond the price that they would want to buy it. Please remember that the name of the game is still, those large investors are very strict also, or very specific with valuations, that they would only buy it at a certain price that they would want to get that stock. So if it's above and beyond the price that they want to buy it, it does not make sense for them to come in anymore. What are the important details that you need to know for the tender offer? Number one, the tender offer price. This is the price where the company, the institution, will buy the shares from you at this specific price point only. So what are the things that you need to look at? Number one, if, for example, for FGen, if I remember it properly, it's around 22.5 pesos. So you have to look at this. Is the stock price lower, cheaper than the tender offer, than the price that they will buy it from you? Because if they're buying it higher from you, then there's a bigger shot, there's a bigger chance that you will actually earn more if you take the tender offer. Second thing that you must most likely consider is the price that you bought it. If you accept the tender offer and it's at a higher price, then you make money. If you accept the tender offer also and you bought it at a higher price and then the tender offer is lower, essentially you are cutting loss. You are selling your positions at a loss. So those are the things that you need to consider. What's the current price? What's the price you bought it? And then what's the tender offer? So at least you have a reference point. Another thing, the offer period. The offer period basically is the date at which the tender offer period will happen. It could be for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, but during this period, this is the time where you get to decide, or at least express your intention that you want to accept the deals of the tender offer. Because after this period is done, then even if you decide later on, then you cannot be eligible already for the offer. So if you have an online broker, majority of them will have a button there where you just have to agree to the terms of the tender offer, and that's it basically. Anyways, closing date, this is the last day for you to be able to be part, or at least signify intention that you want to sell your shares by the tender offer, or do you want to accept the tender offer. Then lastly, similar to dividends, settlement date, this is the date that it will be credited to your account if you sold your shares or if you accepted the tender offer. Now, that being said, what should you do during the tender offer? You have a lot of options, no? Number one, you can accept the tender offer. So you can accept it plain as it is, but the only pitfall about that is, for me, especially if you're an investor, you have to realize a couple of things. Number one, is the company still good? Is the company still growing? Do you still like the company? Is it something that you still plan to hold on to for the very long term? Is the company still worth holding on to? Because as what I've mentioned, when you sell or when you take the tender offer, it's effectively you selling your position, selling your shares. Meaning, taking the tender offer is you selling it. But has your sell signals been hit? Are you selling just because of the tender offer, or has the fundamentals actually changed? You have to think about it that way. Is it also, as what I've mentioned, there's a chance that the tender offer is sold at a higher price. If the tender offer is at a higher price compared to the market, you have to analyze it. Why is a private company, why is an institution willing to buy that stock for that company at a higher price? Because please remember, the name of the game is buy low, sell high. So why are they buying it at a higher price? So they must actually think that, hey, there must be something to this company that later on it will be worth me buying it at this particular price. So you must analyze it that way. If they're willing to buy it at a higher price, they're actually believing and thinking that this company must be worth more. This company should be at least valued something higher, or there must be at least growth expectations for it. So why am I saying this? Don't just sell for the tender offer just for the sake of selling. Do not just sell because everyone else will tell you to sell. You look at the fundamentals first. You look at your plan first. Has any of those parameters for you to sell been hit? If they have not been hit, then maybe you should not sell. Maybe there must be other things that you should look at first before deciding to sell. So those are the things that you need to look at. But here's the thing. If your triggers, your parameters for selling have been hit, then by all means, you should sell. Again, I repeat, your trigger for you selling should be what your plans are, the things that you've laid out, the things that you have defined. And I've been saying this all the time. You sell, you have this list of criteria. These are the reasons why I'm buying the stock, and these are the reasons why I'm selling the stock. If any of those reasons for you to sell the stock have been hit, then by all means, you should sell. The next thing you need to consider is, what if a tender offers 20, you bought it at 40? Are you willing to cut loss? Especially kung wala naman talagang changes sa fundamentals ng company, are you willing to sell it at a lower price? Given that, hey, if someone else thinks it's a good buy at 20, I might just hold on to it because there's a large institution that have a lot of researchers, a lot of analysts that are valuing it higher. Please remember, institutions like that won't buy it at a certain price if they don't think it's a good deal for them. There's a reason why institutions buy it, and they don't just release large amounts of money the basta-basta lang. When a tender offer is issued, your next option is, hey, you could still sell it in the open market. Please remember, you could always, that's one of the best things about the stock market, it's liquidity. Meaning, there's an offer period. So, for example, for FGen, I think it will run through up until a certain point of June. So, if it's May or the first week of June, at any given point in time, you can still sell the stock. You can sell it in the open market just like any other stock. So, you have an option that you can analyze it, no, if I really want to sell it, should I sell it now? And this is the profit that I get. Or should I just accept the tender offer? So, here's the thing. If your intention is to sell, you have two options. Number one, look at the tender offer. Number two, look at the price in the open market. If your plan is to sell and then you will get a higher gain from the tender offer, then accept the tender offer. Now, if your plan is to sell, but you will get a higher gain if you sell it right now in the open market, then better sell it at the open market. At the end of the day, let the math, let the numbers also decide on what you're supposed to do. Let the math, let the numbers decide whether it will be something that you should hold on to, or whether it's something that you should actually sell and take profits from, or to at least you dispose of. Number 3, you have the decision to also do nothing. So here's the thing about tender offers. You accept it or don't accept it. If you don't accept it, nothing changes. You are still a shareholder of the company. Meaning, if you don't accept the tender offer and you don't also sell it in the open market, everything remains as is. You are still a shareholder of the company that you like. And please remember this, the only reason why you sell it is because you think it's not gonna do well anymore. But if you think it's gonna do well, why will you sell it? Not unless you really want to dispose of it and there will be a better position for you somewhere else. Now, I understand the reasons for people asking this, no, that there might be a chance that the company may be delisted. But please remember, if you analyze it, it will be disclosed if a delisting will also happen. And there are also rules for the PSE for delisting it. If I remember it properly, if it's below 10% of the float that gets left, if they sell after the selling is done, you're left with less than 10%, then most likely there will be a delisting that could possibly happen. If you want more from this delisting topic, comment it below and I'll try to make an entire video just for delisting. But that's the main narrative, no? A delisting will happen when the float fails to hit the minimum required by the PSE, or at least around it falls below the 10% level after the shares have been sold. So this is another condition already. If a delisting will happen, you have two options again. Number 1, if you do not sell and then a delisting will happen, you still are a shareholder of that company regardless of what that company is. Now, the thing about that though, if it gets delisted, you become a shareholder of a private company. Meaning, if the company is giving out dividends, then you are still entitled to that dividends, that being you are a shareholder. But it defeats the purpose though of one of the reasons why I love the stock market is the liquidity. Meaning, if I want to sell, I can sell it anytime. If I want to buy, I can buy a stock anytime also. If the stock is delisted, it removes the ability for it to become liquid, meaning it will take a harder time for it before you can buy or you can sell it. And of course, it becomes more complicated because since it's not anymore listed, there will be more paperwork, there will be higher taxes for you. It will be treated like a normal share sale of a private company. There's a chance that it will be delisted and you are a stock market guy like me. You're not just in it because you are so into that company that yun talaga yung pinakagusto mo kaya ka nag-stock market that particular company. Then my suggestion to you, even if the fundamentals are good, you sell. Because at the end of the day, since you're a stock market person, you're a stock market guy like me, it's very, very important for us to have the liquidity. And you have to remember, if they're not anymore listed in the stock market, then the transparency, the disclosures won't be as easy as what we're seeing right now. And they're not compelled to disclose all of the financial data anymore. You won't see it in PSE Edge, you won't see it in any broker, you won't see it in their website. So the access to information won't be as easy. So my suggestion, if you are in it to be a stock market investor, then at the first sign that you know it will be delisted, either you sell right from the get or you take the tender offer so that you can use that cash and transfer it to another stock that could be similar to the one that you sold from, or another stock or another company altogether that's undervalued that will also give you growth. Looking at the FGen tender offer, I think at the time it was announced, the stock price of FGen was around 17. That being said, the tender offer was around 22.5. From 17 to 22.5, it has a respectable upside from 17 to 22.5. If you bought it way back and you bought it at a higher price than 22.5, then again, if you take the tender offer, you will be losing money essentially. If you bought it way back also at a price lower than the tender offer, then essentially you're making money. So please remember, I think the offer period's up until June, the 3rd week of June. So if you decide to sell, please make sure that you execute it by that time. You have enough. By the time this video is out, you will still have a few days for you to be able to decide if you want to take the tender offer for FGen or not. Analyze it properly, study it properly. Don't just decide based on the videos that I'm making, because at the end of the day, what will give you the firm conviction to make money in the markets and what will give you the firm conviction to stay in the markets for a very, very long time is you know what you're getting into. And if you take opportunities like this to study, if you take opportunities like this to be able to analyze things, and then you do it properly, the next time things like this will happen, you will have the conviction and you will have the insight for you to be able to do it. But if there's one thing that I do know, by the time they disclose the information, the tender offer was at a higher price, meaning there was a gain from the previous price before it got disclosed. And if you bought it at a prior price where it's lower than the tender offer, accepting the tender offer will give you a profit, or it will give you a higher rate of return. So there, I hope you guys got a lot from this video. We talked about what a tender offer is. We talked about why is a tender offer happening. We talked about the important dates, the important details of a tender offer. We talked about what should be your response during a tender offer. We also talked about, is a delisting happening during a tender offer, and what should you do as a stock market trader and investor. So there, if you have any questions from this video, put them in the comment section, and then we're gonna make more videos from this. By the way, this video is dedicated also to Josie. She sent me a lot of questions about it, and to everyone else who sent questions about the FGen tender offer. So there, put your questions below. If a lot of you ask a certain topic or a certain question, then we're gonna do something like this. We're gonna make a new video based on the questions that you're doing. If you got a lot from this video, I would super appreciate it if you'd put it in the comment section, I'm learning, because if you're learning, it helps me know what type of videos you guys want as well. And then if you are getting a lot of value from this also, aside from putting I'm learning, please smash the like button, because it helps the YouTube algorithm show this to more and more Filipinos. And if you're new to this channel, I forgot to introduce myself again. My name is Marvin Germo, and I'm a stock market trader and investor, and I make daily videos about investing, about stock market, about how you can use assets, how you can use businesses, how you can use investments to help you reach your goals of financial freedom. So if you're new to this, appreciate it, guys, if you could subscribe and you could smash that bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about investing, because at the end of the day, that's all I want. This channel has been pumping out videos daily because I really want to change the narrative that Filipinos can win, and the stock market is one of the best assets, if done properly, studied properly, researched properly, for you to be able to reach your goals of financial freedom. So there, for those who want to learn more, I have 5 books: The Basics of the Stock Market, Technical Analysis, Fundamental Analysis, and also a General Investment book. All of them are in the links below. You can order them from Shopee, and they will be delivered wherever you are in the Philippines. If your area is not covered by Shopee, there's a link below it where where another online store can deliver to wherever you are, not just in the Philippines, but wherever you are in the world. For those who are asking about Stock Smarts Manila, since June, we will be in GCQ. We're just waiting for the rules of SMX with regards to the GCQ, but most likely, if everything else pans out, Stock Smarts Manila will be in SMX Aura this 3rd week of June and 4th week of June. All of those weekends, the link is in the description for those who want to attend. And for those who attended in March or part of the March session, that's the session where we will all have our sessions again. And it's nice to have a classroom setting, no? Minsan nakasawa na rin na camera lang yung kausap. It's nice to talk to a live crowd again. So I'm excited to see all of you there. And online courses on the basics of the stock market with Chinkee Tan, links in the description. It's called Stock Market for Everyone. And another online course with Sean Si, it's called Make Money, Grow Money. It's the basics of business, investment, and the stock market. The link is also in the description. We don't have yet a online course for technical analysis. I'm gonna finish first all of my classes first, and then I'm gonna decide if we're gonna do something in connected to the online classes. And then there, those who requested for Patreon account is in the link below. For those who are asking what camera I use, it's in the link below. What software I use, what virus scanner I use, what shoes I get, everything is in the links below. I hope you guys got a lot from this. I hope this is something that's helpful for you. I hope that as you continue to learn, as you continue to study, this channel is adding tremendous value, because at the end of the day, you will only go as far as what you put in here. And I hope that you fill your mind with knowledge, you fill your mind with learning, regardless if it's technical analysis, fundamental analysis, or something like this, the ins and outs of the market, because at the end of the day, you will only grow as far as what you put in here, and what you put in here will help you decide on what matters to you. Because at the end of the day, investing, business is all about skill, and skill is derived upon knowledge. So my suggestion again, study, build that skill, but execute, and execute, because execution is king. Ideas, for me, people say ideas are everything. For me, ideas are not everything. Executed ideas are everything. So that's it for now. This is Marvin Germo. I hope this video pushes you and inspires you to continue to live out your dreams, because you only have one life to live. Don't waste your life. Don't waste the finest years of your life not doing anything. Don't waste the finest years of your life feeling so deprived, feeling so lonely, feeling that your life does not count. It does count. You matter. Do the things that make you happy. Do the things that make you alive. Do the things that you are meant to do. Keep on pushing, keep on hustling, keep on studying, keep on investing. And I hope this video helps you. Trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.